What's up, family? What's good? What's good? What's good? I am back. I am back. And I got some news. I want to go over this article with you. George Soros. Most of you should know who George Soros is by now. Um, Mr. George Soros, the man of who's 100% behind funding the whole BLM, Black Lives Matter groups, and a lot of other terrorist groups, anarchist groups. Yeah, that George Soros has dropped 10 million. I'm sure a lot of you know this by now, but you still have some people that don't. The man has just dropped $10 million in Gavin Newsom's pocket for redoing the maps, redrawing the maps. Prop 50, that's what it's called. I can't tell you how to vote, but I know I'm voting no on that. I'm definitely not voting yes. I am voting no because these people are intent on taking away your political rights, which means if Prop 50 passes, you really have no say. They pretty much pick the voters instead of you picking the politicians. And that's what the Democrats want because they are losing. The Democrats are losing people in record numbers. A lot of people are leaving the Democrat Party. They're politically bleeding out. They're pretty much being put on life support, and lost a lot of the black vote. A lot of black people have left the Democrat Party. A lot of young people are leaving the are leaving the Democrat Party, so they got to do whatever they can to rig the system. But how much more can you rig it? Because California's political system is already rigged. We don't have fair elections in California. Everything out here is rigged. Like, do you honestly think people didn't want this man recalled, that they wanted him to remain in office? No. No, I'm willing to bet you he lost that recall election. But, dude cooked the books, had it all rigged. He had his auntie helping him out, making sure he got back in office, and there he is, remaining in office, continuing to rain hell on every taxpaying citizen as he continues to just tax and tax and tax and tax and tax and tax you to death, to the point where you won't even be able to buy a jar of orange juice, or you out on the streets homeless because you tax so much you can't even afford to pay your rent. This is all under Gavin Newsom's watch. High homeless rate, high taxes, high cost of living, high crime. And this is the man that wants to run for president. And he said himself that he wants to turn the whole country into California. What a freaking joke. See, you have evil and you have wickedness. See, wicked is a step above evil. It's a step above. You have a lot of evil people out there. They do evil shit, do evil stuff. But then they kind of slow down and be like, you know what, maybe I better just kind of slow it down a little bit because they might catch on to me, and I don't want to go too far off the deep end. When you're wicked, you don't give a damn. You don't care about what other people go through. You don't care about the harm you cause people, the harm you cause the public, the harm you cause the environment, to the environment. It's just all about you, all about your agenda. You don't even care about the harm you cause to your surrounding loved ones, really, if you really want to get into it. And that's what Gavin Newsom is. Gavin Newsom isn't evil. Gavin Newsom is 100% wicked. And I could tell you that because I'm a California citizen. And just him having a special election to redraw the maps and take away citizens' voting rights is wicked within itself. When you say, why is he taking away voting rights? Well, you as a Californian, you are the one as a taxpaying citizen, as us as taxpaying citizens. Redrawing of the maps is done by us, not politicians. No, but they want to flip it around where they want to take that power out of the voters' hands. And that's just beyond evil. It's wicked. Like I said, it's wicked. It's not giving a damn. It's only caring about yourself, because you see California becoming more and more of a red state, and more people are leaving the Democrat Party. So you got to do something about that. You got to rig it even more, or try to rig it. I don't see how you can rig California more than how it's already rigged. So you got to do whatever you can to keep California Democrats from losing seats. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Newsom, because regardless whether this passes or not, your political career is over, buddy. If you lose this Prop 50, your career is definitely over. Done. Finished. And I think I'll throw a party on that day too when that happens. I'm not going to lie. But let's jump into this article, family. Good old George Soros gives $10 million to Newsom. Redistricting fight. Redistricting fight. George Soros drops $10 million. Now, when you hear somebody like George Soros backing you, dropping money on something, you already know you shouldn't even be supporting it off the bat. 100% you know you shouldn't even be supporting it. You want to support the opposite of what George Soros supports. 100%. This is the man that has funded Black Lives Matter. He's in Antifa groups, anarchist groups. This man is 100%. He funds all of that shit, man. So George Soros it's just all about wrecking and bringing down society. And it's not just him. Not just him. You got Bill Gates. You got all of these other people up in there just doing the most, man. Makes you want to just move to an island, live off the land, grow your own food. Okay. Governor Newsom has raised roughly $70 million in less than 2 months for the California ballot measure to redraw the state's congressional lines. With the family of the prominent Democratic financier George Soros recently kicking in $10 million, according to two people who, with direct knowledge of the fundraising. The 10 million donation makes the Soros family the single largest funder in favor of the redistricting ballot measure, and it comes at a moment when President Trump has explicitly called for Mr. Soros and his son Alex to be investigated as part of an escalation of his efforts to clamp down on political opposition. Man, somebody should have stopped George Soros a long time ago. I mean, George Soros be doing whatever he want to do, man. Him and Bill Gates. My goodness. And somebody like me miss a traffic date or drive without a suspended license, I'm going to jail. But these people get to run around and do whatever they want to do. Make that make sense. Mr. Newsom has cast a measure, Proposition 50, which I'm voting against, voting no on. Hopefully you guys will, as a way for Democrats to counter efforts by Mr. Trump and his allies to squeeze more safe districts out of red states before the 2026 midterms, which you guys are going to lose. I don't see the Democrats winning the midterms at all. I just don't see that happening. I put money on that. Texas had already approved new gerrymander maps that deliver as many as 5 new Republican seats in the U.S. House control of Congress. And Mr. Trump's ability to enact his agenda relatively unchecked by lawmakers is at stake next fall. The California measure on the ballot in November will ask voters in the state to adopt new maps that would create as many as 5 new safe Democrat seats, effectively canceling out Texas. Nah, we don't need more Democrat seats. We need less Democrat seats. We need less. Because you guys had an opportunity to fix California. You've been in office. You had control of California for what? Damn near close to 20 years, I could say. You guys had the majority. Maybe 15. And it's hell on earth. It looks like a third world country. So, nah, we need less Democrat seats, man. The less, the better. Technically, a lot of you should be in jail, should be in prison. If you really want to get technical about it, really go deep. But let's say that for another time. The fight to sway Californians on which way to vote, yes or no, is expected to sign $200 million. The people with knowledge of the Newsom fundraising effort spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to disclose numbers not yet made public. Mr. Trump has increasingly focused on Mr. Soros and his family, claiming without evidence that Mr. Soros has formed violent protests. What you mean without evidence? There's definitely evidence that he's funded violent protests. Anything that has a lot of destruction in it, you can bet and believe George Soros' foot is in it. I mean, that even the most uninformed person knows that now. I mean, it used to kind of be a secret, but not so much anymore. Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful, we're watching you, Mr. Trump wrote on his social media site last month. The attacks have ratcheted up since the assassination of the right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk last week, as Mr. Trump and his top officials have vowed to go after liberal groups like Mr. Soros' Open Society Foundations. On Fox News, Mr. Trump revived his calls for prosecutors to pursue racketeering charges against Mr. Soros. We're going to look into Soros because I think it's a RICO case against him and other people because this is more than protest, he said. Man, Soros been wreaking havoc all over the place for, oh man, probably since I was a kid. I mean, this man's been doing just been overthrowing countries, just overthrowing, um, just destroying they whole George Soros, he would go to different countries and bankrupt them, economically bankrupt them, bring in all kind of chaos. You know what I'm saying? Just all over the world, all over the planet. So this man's been doing this type of stuff for decades, man. You know, just destroying people's economies, and they're just doing the most. But people know what's up. People who are awake know how George Soros is. This finally somebody's. I guess it takes Trump to go after him. Then I guess that's what it takes. But somebody need to go after him. I mean, these people are above the law, man. Been above the law for decades. Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful, we're watching you, Mr. Trump wrote on his social media site last month. The attacks have ratcheted up since the assassination of right-wing, I think I read this, influencer Charlie Kirk last week, as Mr. Trump and his top officials have vowed to go after liberal groups like Mr. Soros' Open Society Foundations. On Fox News, Mr. Trump revived his calls for prosecutors to pursue racketeering charges against Mr. Soros. We're going to look into Soros because I think it's a RICO case against him and other people because this is more than protest, he said. Do you think, Trump? Liberal organizations, including Mr. Soros' group, forcefully defended their philanthropic missions in an open letter this week. Newsom officials declined to comment on the fundraising numbers. A spokesman for Mr. Soros said in a statement that this ballot measure temporarily changes the way lines are drawn in California, giving voters the opportunity to level the national playing field. This ain't about the voters, man. It's about you keeping your seats. My God, these people, man, they're so ingenuine. It ain't about us. It ain't about the voters. It's about you keeping your seat so you can keep your ass in office, because you know people are going to vote you out. And you see the state is slowly becoming more and more red, so you fools are starting to panic. Let's keep it a buck. All right, this ain't about the voters. It's about you and keeping your seat and getting more seats so you can remain in power. That's what it is. Other top individual contributors to the Democrat effort to California so far are Michael Moritz, a billionaire Silicon Valley venture capitalist and major party donor who gave $2.5 million, and Reed Hastings, the Netflix co-founder, who gave $2 million public filings show. And a sign of the national stakes, the leading super PAC for House Democrat has transferred $7.6 million, and the Democratic Governors Association's political arms has given $2 million more, according to the filings. The largest donor to the opposing side, Charles T. Munger Jr., has given more than wow 30 million to stop Mr. Newsom. So every millionaire and billionaire is not for Newsom's drawing of the maps, Jerry districting, however you call it. You got some millionaires and some billionaires that's pushing back against him, which is a good thing. The larger donor to the opposing side, Charles T. Munger Jr., has given more than $30 million to stop Mr. Newsom's measure, which would roll back the state's independent redistricting, which is what they want, commissions until the next census, to allow for the new partisan maps. Mr. Munger had financed the original measure, stripping lawmakers of the power to draw district lines. Mr. Newsom's team has also aggressively raised money online, hosting a streaming telethon-like show this week with prominent Democratic influencers and politicians, including Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, the fake Indian. The usual suspects. Okay, Elizabeth. Mr. Newsom ballot campaign has processed nearly 700,000 grassroots contributions, totaling to $22.1 million, according to the two people with knowledge of the fundraising. Labor organizations have given nearly $20 million, led by $3 million from the California Teachers Association. As for the measure, opponents have outspent its prominent on television and digital ads, $10.1 million to $7.9 million, according to reservation data compiled by Adam Pack, the ad tracking service. Okay, so Newsom definitely has a fight on his hands. Dude is not gonna he's not gonna get this without a fight. As I just read to you, he got he got some millionaires and some billionaires pushing back against him. People with big money pushing back against him. So it's not gonna be easy for him. If he thinks this is gonna be a walk in the park for him to get this passed, he's highly delusional. Completely, totally highly delusional. But I don't know what to say, man. Even if it does pass, I honestly believe Gavin Newsom's political career is finished, because I mean, just look at his record. High crime, high taxes, high cost of living. I can go on and on. Ran all types of businesses out the state. Ran Hollywood, the film industry out of the state. All of this under this dude's watch. Who in their right mind will vote for that as president? So, but the man is delusional. He thinks he can run, but he's in for a rude awakening, very rude awakening. So let me know what y'all think. I normally don't really vote, But I'm going to vote because this is more of a local thing, kind of. It's a state thing, so I will be voting no on this. So let me know what you think. Peace and love. Shout out to my Californians, man. Out to Dean in the house. One love. I'm out.